Every afternoon, Thomas the Tank Engine pelts along his branch line with Nanny and Clarabelle. First they pass the water mill. Next they come to a big fall. Then they can see a bridge of a village next to its either side it. This is a special place. Whenever children hear Thomas come along, they stand on the bridge rail until he is out of sight. One day, Thomas was running late. He had stopped before the signal before the bridge to talk to some new children. Percy the Green Engine was waiting too. Hurry up, Thomas called Percy when the signal dropped. If you're late, so Top will have to get a new engine to replace you. He will never do that, thought Thomas, but he was worried. Next day, Thomas hurried along the line. Just ahead was a goods yard. There on the platform was an inspector waving a red flag. Next, Thomas saw some children. They were waving too. Something must be wrong, thought Thomas. This station's for goods, not passengers. Help, Thomas, help! We're glad to see you, called the children. Please, will you take us home? The station master explained to Thomas's driver that the school bus had been broken down, and all the parents would be worried if the children were late. Thomas waited as the children walked down from the bridge. Then he took the children to the next station where Bertie was waiting for them to take them home. When Thomas finished his journey, he was very late. He was worried that Sir Topham Hatt would be cross with him. I warned Thomas about Percy James. He has been late 2 times already. He'll be in trouble now. Next morning, when Thomas picked up his passengers, Sir Topham Hatt was nowhere to be seen. Thank goodness, sighed Thomas. Thomas knows every part of his branch line. Just ahead was a stretch where the hot sun had bent the rails on the track. Careful, Thomas called his driver, but it was too late. That's done, said his driver. We shan't go any further today. But what about my passengers? Asked Thomas. Don't worry, they'll be looked after, replied his driver. While workmen repaired the line, Thomas had his chum freight cars in the yard. Bertie came to see him. I understand you need my help again. Yes, Bertie, replied Thomas sadly. I can't run without my rails. Bertie set out to collect Thomas's passengers. Hello, Bertie, they said. We're glad you're here. Bertie drove along the road which runs by a railway. He stopped at each station and along the line. Sometimes he stopped between stations to let people out to their homes. Thomas felt miserable. I lost my passengers to Bertie. They like him better than me. So Topham Hatt arrived. Your branch line is repaired. I'm gonna change your time schedule so you and Bertie can work together more. When Thomas reached the station, there was a relief to all his passengers. Bertie is a good bus, but we miss our train rides with you, they said. Later, Thomas spoke to Bertie. Thank you for looking after my passengers. That's alright, hey Thomas, I like to make new friends, and I'm glad to share them with you. You're a good friend indeed, replied Thomas, and always will be.